Good morning, everybody. It is April 25th, 8:25 a.m. Welcome. I hope everybody had a good day yesterday. This market is in balance. Got a lot of big earnings this week, especially today. Microsoft and Google reporting after the close. Had a bunch of stuff reported before. We'll get into that. And without further ado, let's get into introduction of the channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I've been doing this for almost 5 years, using volume profile, market profile in the futures market to do stock trades, do future trades, do set up a lot of things along with supply and demand and key levels. Also been using a lot of gamma exposure levels as of late, and I'm still working on that. I might show some today if we have time, but it's truly something very important. So, and I'm seeing a lot of confluence with levels and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, pretty cool. And hey, what's up, Win? And of course, support my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Set an alert. That'd be much appreciated. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter, Gonzo719. I'm also on Instagram, Gonzo719 Jersey. And yeah. So why don't we just get right into the futures, the watch list. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what we have going on. Okay. So the VIX. VIX is up 3.79%, still below 18, but at 17.53. Bonds being bought. 30-year bonds being bought. Dollars slightly higher. Bitcoin's pretty much flat. Dow is down minus 2.4. Gold's down. Ether down. Nasdaq's down 0.36. ES is down 0.40. Crude's down 0.7. Russell's down 0.84. Russell's down a lot because of First Republic Bank. All right, regional bank. We'll get into that. 10-year yield is down 2.05%. Okay, silver's down 2.57%. Okay, dollar stronger, but not that strong. So interesting. All right, let's move on. Let's move on here. Okay. Let's go to the leaders. Coin. Okay, coins been beaten down to death. So they're up 1.59%. No other leader to speak of. Let's talk about some laggards. We got Snow down 0.71. Tesla down again. That's getting hurt a lot. Okay. Down 1.05%. Baba, still another one getting smacked. So Coin, Tesla, and Baba been getting smacked. Okay. Let's go on to our next one here. No leader really to speak of pre-market. We'll go to the laggards. So that's JP Morgan. Oh yeah, Trading Ticks. Yep. I haven't checked the 1-day VIX. I saw that came out. I'm using a thing called Investors Haven on Discord for now, and using another service that's free, but I don't like their levels as much. But that's what I've been using. Is Traditix free or? let's go to these laggers. Paid. Okay. If you've noticed these levels, right? It's pretty nuts, right? How the make markers have to hedge, have the gamma hedge. It's pretty cool. Um, so let's see. J.P. Morgan down 0.64, Roblox down 0.97, UPS bad earnings, okay, and forward guidance. So they're down big time, 4.52. I'm sure FedEx is down as a sympathy. I haven't looked at that yet. Um, all right, let's look at the sectors. Staples, I wouldn't call that a leader, right? Let's just go with the bottom three. Energy, semis, financials, no surprise, financials this week. Okay. All right, let's get into the news. All right, we'll get right into the news here. All right, so First Republic Bank. Let's talk about that. Basically, it saw 100 billion in customer withdrawals last month. All right, so that's gonna knock the stock big time. Uh, PepsiCo rose, good earnings. Verizon's falling. Then UPS stock fell 4.4% of delivery companies said it expects full year revenue to be at the lower end of its forecast. McDonald's rose. What else here? Spotify just climbed over across the half-billion mark for the first time. JetBlue, UBS, stock fell. That's that who bought out Credit Suisse. In Fox fell because Tucker Carlson was I basically found out that he was fired, but that's not good. He's like one of the number one um, hosts on that network. So pretty interesting. Now, today, what we have to look out for is at 10 a.m. Okay, you got new home sales. So just, it could cause a little volatility in the market. Okay, at 10 a.m. All right. So that's pretty much the news. Of course, we have Microsoft and Google reporting after the close. That should be interesting. Let me see. Boeing's reporting. When are they reporting? Boeing's reporting tomorrow. Okay. All right. So, um, there's not a lot to talk about as far as daily charts. I mean, but I'm gonna go to it just to see if there's anything to note. There's really probably nothing. This balance is crazy. We'll briefly go over. Okay. So, we're just in this range. I mean, hitting 410, right? We're in a slight downtrend. It was broken yesterday, but then it fell back under. That's what we're looking at in the SPY. Let's look at the Qs. Qs hitting 314, 313 is the lows. It's not breaking it. Okay. Closed under the 8 EMA daily, and it closed under the 20 simple moving average. See the Dow. The Dow is kind of holding its 336. It's in this little range. You can see it right here. It's almost like 336 to like 338. Just in a range. Got big earnings. No surprise there. Right? Russell got some big hit. Just got a big hit this morning. So it's been in this little range. Okay, but the Russell was down almost over a percent earlier. It's at 175.92 right now, so it's like way down here right now. So it's gapping down. below the 20 simple moving average based on that First Republic Bank. Okay, but just in a range, right? That's really not much to report there. Okay, so and the 10-year yield just had a decent dip just now. Today it's gapping down. So let's look at that triple headed monster. Let's get into that. That's a pretty significant drop. That's pretty significant. It's just showing the indecision in the bond market too. Okay, just got to keep an eye on this. And that VIX, well, like it popped above that, but it's just holding under this 17.93 level. It's just muted right now. Dollar, we all know that how that's been looking. Finally have a bodied candle today. Okay, look at that candle. Jesus. Oh my God. So it's just a whole lot of indecision going on in everything. No surprise, no shock there. Okay. All right. Let's go over to market profile, volume profile. Let's move right into the ES. Okay. All right. So we're in balance. There's not a lot to say here. Um, there was more of a trade setting up earlier when we were down here. Okay. However, the most traded price was down here. Now we've kind of like taken out some of the shorts. Prices right here right now. So I mean, it's just crisscrossing these major levels. The only reason is because we're in balance. Okay. I mean, look at this profile. It's a picture perfect profile for the week. That's just showing you the balance. Okay. Big levels right here. Call it 4150 to 4155 to about 4145. This is just a congestion area, and we just keep going back and forth through it. Eventually, this is going to be a huge move. So, just don't know when. And we have two behemoths reporting later to after the close, though, right? So what we could see today is probably more balance, and then I would suspect possibly in the afternoon just consolidation, waiting for those big, you know, might not happen, but I believe it will. People will just wait and to see what Microsoft and Google report. Okay. So pretty simple today. Pretty simple. We're in this compressed range right here as of late. Basically right here. And right here. So that's the range. That's the range we're playing in. And so today I would expect more of the same. All right. I would expect more of that same. So the only thing here that to note is we already have our big levels. We already have the profile. Is we are pretty much close to 100% net short in the overnight. So, this is the only long activity and everything's been short. Now, I like to be at the bottom. I like to see the market at the bottom of the session to make a move lower to go high so you can go long. So we already kind of paid the price a little bit. Now they're still short. Okay. But we closed up here. So people who like close the market with a position on, they're underwater. So they're not short at all. So it's very interesting what happens when we open. So, and I'm just going to talk about the plan now because it's not really a very detailed plan at all. It's pretty simple. It's basically what we've been doing. All right, so we have the 20 simple moving average here. That's a bright blue line. Okay, so what I would like to see if I want to get long is a push down into this demand zone, maybe even breach these overnight lows, come up, and then you just target these big levels. I mean, you can see if we can cross it over to this supply. Okay, maybe we dip below into this demand and we come back. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, now the one thing that I have to say is, and we're in a range, so it doesn't matter, but usually when you make an overnight low that's lower than the range, it's not secure. It's usually like you've basically hit it. And a quick stat, over 97% of overnight lows or overnight highs get hit in the real-time trading session. So there's a good chance we come down here or we go here. It's 97 something percent. So now, of course, let's talk about the shorts. Well, no surprise here. If we make it all the way up to this other end of the range, either we in this supply, you want to maybe go back and go back to the other end of balance, or if we could even break up into this supply and you want to short back. I'd be shocked if we have a breakout today. But again, there's a news catalyst that could come out, something that could push the market that we don't know about right now. It could, but we don't really know about that. Okay? There's not a lot of nuance here. It's basically we're in a range. We're in a huge balance range. Okay? All right, let's look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ, same kind of thing. Let's look at the profile for the last week. Very balanced. A beautiful profile, right? Hence the big level right in the middle. Call it 130.80. Okay, we're below that. But it doesn't mean we can't traverse it. And usually in a market that's not range bound, these levels don't just get broken every day like this. They don't. It doesn't work like that. They usually get either hold below it or hold above it. But when you're in a range bound market, it can whip across it back and forth. Okay? So, now there is something I'm noticing right now to note. This is very noteworthy. Okay? So, we got our key levels right in the middle of the profile. No surprise there. However, we have what's called a weak low here. Oh, sorry. So 129.67. Okay. This was the overnight low and yesterday's low. Now, whenever you see that, that is called a weak low. Okay. Now, to get that nuanced, to have buyers step in at that nuanced level, that's weak hands in the market. That's like me, you, retail buying that. That is not institutions. That is not banks. That's not big boys buying that. They don't care about those exact levels. So when you have this weak low and it got revisited and got bought up, well, now you have buyers here that are weak-handed buyers. So if we come back down here, expect to get, now it could hold again, but the more times it holds, the weaker it gets. But a lot of times when you come down here, you'll see a quick move down. Doesn't mean it gets follow through, but it will get a quick move down. You get those longs, the longs that are positioned here. It gets them out of there. We could still bounce up, but that's just the nuance, like in market profile, that you see. So there's a weak low here. If it gets revisited, I believe it should break a little bit and then follow through, or you go back into range. But I just wanted to point that out. That's a nuance that we haven't really been seeing a lot as of late. Okay, so that's one nuance. Okay, now let's see where we're at. So we got the overnight high, yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Okay, so we're inside yesterday's range. Pretty balanced profile on the overnight. Okay, now this is a little bit different because you got your big level here and we're holding under it. We made an attempt higher yesterday that failed. Okay, so you are starting to build out some volume down here. However, we're in that range. Okay, so the next thing is same thing here, just like in the ES. Price though is like kind of like somewhat in the middle of the session. Here's the mid. Okay, but we're pretty much almost 100% net short. That's the only long activity overnight, is right there. So everyone else is short. Okay, and the most trader price is right here. So right now how I see it is it's going to break down lower or higher from this area because there's so much concentrated volume here. So really, if you break this or this, it's kind of going to tell us what's going to happen. Okay, but right now everyone's short overnight. So if we do come down and push through here, I would expect to tag yesterday's most traded price in here. Right? If we break this, well, I expect that weak low to be taken out. And I don't know how far we go. Being that we're in balance, it could just push down to this demand and then we come up, right? So that's what I'm seeing. And we're underneath this level, which is bearish to me. So let's get into some trades. Okay. Let's start out with the long side. All right. So as far as the long, I just explained why we would get long, right? Still 100%, almost 100% net short inventory. Okay. So what I'd be looking for is basically come down here, and I would want to see it break and hold right here, and you go long, target yesterday's most trader price, target this supply right in here of this key level. Okay, you want to hold one, hold it for the top of the range, 20 simple moving average right here. You also got a monthly VWAP right here. Okay, of course, another long is if we come down, pounce out of this demand, or we break the range and sellers are just not strong, and we can go long here. Okay, let's go with the short now. Okay, just what I said. Now what I would like to see right under this volume here, remember I told you guys that's the most trader price, so I wouldn't mind seeing this, a push up, it holds it, then it breaks this, tests it back, then you target that weak low, that 129.67, hold one to see how far you can go, maybe back into this demand. Okay, the next one is let the market catch up into this big level, because now there's some supply in here. If it can't reach up there and it comes through, that's your short. Of course, we could traverse the range, go back to the other side, and then you're just waiting. That's more conservative. Wait for it to get into this supply zone next to yesterday's high. Even if we pop above real quick, come up, get some higher lows or lower highs, and then you can short it back to here and then try to get back to the other side of range. That's pretty much it for that. And now, I didn't even, all right. I'm going to go into a chart that I like to show. I don't show it a lot, but I really, it just gives you a really good scope of what the market's doing. Okay. It's this chart. Now, let me see if I can lower this here. Okay. So for anybody who's new, doesn't see me show this a lot, I'll just quickly go over what this chart shows. Okay, so we got a heat map volume profile. That is of a year ago from today. Okay. Second, the white profile inside of that is this year, 2023. Okay. That is that. Right. Now, each blue profile, each of these blue ones are each week. Okay. And every outlined little profiles in here are the months. Right. And then I have 4-hour candles. And what I like to see here is I can see the whites right here is the most traded price of each week. The pink is the most traded price of the month. Right here, that number 41.54. Okay. So this just gives me a real quick, like if we're looking at the ES right now, right? So you can see the most traded price of the year is here. That is 40.23. You can see right here we're building out more volume here, because that's how much we've been trading here. It almost is going to maybe move up here. That's how much balance we're in. Okay, but you can just see very quickly this profile of the month, right? Very balanced. And look at the most traded price, 41.54. So you can see it's just all balance. Now the key is we're going to go one or two ways when we break. We're going to go right here, back to the most traded price of the last year and of this year, 40.23. Or we're going to make a move to one of these old nodes here, which would be about 42.20. Okay, so this gives a nice snapshot of weekly, monthly, 4-hour candles and what we're doing over the year, right? So let's look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ, huge balance, and actually this is the NQ, actually has moved the most traded price of this year up here. That's how much balance we're in, and that's 130.80. That's the level I keep telling you guys about, right? So this is just, what a range, right? That's basically this week price in here, and each week we're just playing in this area. But where are we going to go? You can always tell where we're going to go. Notice this big node here. So if we break this support, we're going to go here. level is 126.58. Okay. And then if we go higher, we're going to go for that resistance. Obviously, we're probably going to land probably over here. We've got a node here. And just, what is that? 134.71. So that's the chance for the upside for the move here. But it's going to be a big move. I mean, this is coiling. This is coiling. We have other earnings coming up this week too. We got Meta, Amazon. So we'll have to see, right? The market feels tired to me, but that doesn't matter what I think. The market's going to do what it does, right? Okay. Give me one sec here. Let me just want to look at one thing. Sorry about that. Give me one sec. All right. Let's just wrap it up. All right. Well, we got our plan. It's a very easy one. Pretty much balance, right? I mean, I'd be shocked if we do anything different, right? Because every time it feels like the buyers have a hold, you think, oh my God, they're going to actually, nope, sold into. Oh my God, the sellers, nope, bought up, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. So, anyway, that'd be it. Let's stay patient. Let's make some money. Real patient, right? It takes a lot of patience for this market, and it constantly feels like it's going to break out, but it doesn't, and then it goes back. So, of course, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I appreciate the report. I'm over 101 subscribers, so that's awesome. Of course, you can always give me a big like, as well as my Twitter, Gonzo719, and of course my Instagram at Gonzo719Jersey. And if there's something to note today, I will. I mean, balance is balance. I mean, I'm just repeating myself every day. We will break out of this. I don't know when. So, everybody, I wish you have a good trading day. And you'll hear from me. If you don't, then you hear from me tomorrow morning. Everybody have a good day.